Hello, everybody. My name is Kay, and I am the Community Engagement Manager here at MCA. I am so looking forward to this episode with y'all. It is our very first Shine the Light, Share the Love, and we are highlighting our Belmont Moral Project. The success of an award granted through MCA represents a tremendous amount of work on many levels and should be celebrated. And as a collective win for each and every person in the community, I'm so excited to bring in the GWI team to talk a little bit about that. With MCA being in a position to be lucky to have the opportunity to share the light and share the love with all that have contributed to this project, bringing in GWI for an opportunity to hear about what this means for Belmont Moral, what the celebration is going to look like, because I know I'm excited about some things in here. And I also wanted to give you a little background about what we do and what has happened in this area. So in 2023, MCA awarded nearly $3 million in public funding, matched by $1.2 million in private funding to serve nearly 800 homes and businesses in the Belmont Moral region. So we'll be having a celebration on Thursday, August 27th from 4:30 to 7:30 at the Belmont Community Center. That is located at 613 Back Belmont Road in Belmont, Maine. Who can attend? I think that's an everybody thing. All members of the Belmont and Moral communities and surrounding areas are invited to join us and celebrate this occasion. There'll be some brief remarks from the Maine Connectivity Authority as well as GWI. And come celebrate with us. We have some refreshments, and am I excited about them? Absolutely. I might have to give you a hint later on, perhaps another podcast to talk just about the menu, but this is an awesome opportunity to grab a bite to eat, learn a little bit more information about what GWI is going to be providing in this area, and if possible, to RSVP. I'll have the link in the show notes, and it is so exciting to have everybody here. Welcome, GWI team. How's it going?
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thanks, Kay.
As mentioned, I'm Kay. I'm the Community Engagement Manager here at MCA, and I will pass this on over to Tevis over on the GWI side.
Thanks, Kay, so much. So my name's Tevis Piper. I am the president of GW. And internally, I'm the event sponsor for this initiative. Very much looking forward to, the event next week, next Thursday, the 27th, especially kind of something that you mentioned earlier. This is a celebration of bringing fiber internet to over 800 homes and businesses. I think we've partnered in some other builds, and being able to continue the success of those builds to this and be able to celebrate that with the community is going to be a special moment for us to continue the relationships that we have both with the MCA and the communities we serve in Maine and throughout Maine. So today I'm also blessed to be joined by two of my colleagues, Shanna and Rob, who can speak a little bit more about some of the event and some of the things that we've organized around that as a whole. So I'll hand it off to Shanna next.
Thanks again, Kay. This is really exciting, and it's been so nice to plan this with you. And the MCA has been absolutely wonderful. And I think we can speak back throughout the entire grant process. And now we get to celebrate. And so I'm really looking forward to the event, and just this network opening in general has been really exciting. I work at GWI, and I work across a lot of different roles, but primarily community engagement. And how do we reach these communities? How do we let them know that our services are here? How do we help them think about how to use fiber internet? And that's what excites me about this project, is just working with the community. A lot of times I get questions that are like, well, you're just Wi-Fi. And it's like, well, no, it's what you can do with the Wi-Fi. Like, there's so many fun things and really useful tools that fiber internet allows for communities and individuals, businesses, from streaming to smart technologies. Homes can really grow in this new way, and communities can grow. And so I'm really excited to see how this transforms or provides added value to Belmont and to Morrill, two communities who I think will really take off after having this fiber network available. And so for the celebration, I'm of course excited to meet individuals in the community who might have questions about fiber internet, what they can do with it, the value of it. I just love talking about all the different things that you can do with fiber internet. One of my favorite things is animal cameras for, like, bird watching or seeing what animals are in your backyard, and just the different things like that. So it's not just like security cameras and trying to, safety. It's like fun. And so that's what I'm really excited for in the celebration. And of course, the food, the games, the free stuff. So I'll be going around to all the tables, I'll be playing all the games, I'll be eating all the food as well.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. And Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Kate, and thanks, Sebs, for the introduction. My role for GWI is I'm kind of a consultant for them, but for community engagement and oftentimes to reach out to, municipal governments, public safety. My background is law enforcement. I retired after 35 years. And so definitely the value of having the connectivity available in these communities is tremendous, especially when it comes to public safety, having that connectivity for the first responders in the community, but also for training opportunities. I know a lot of times fire departments, for instance, in rural areas, it's a big commitment. They're volunteers, and so having connectivity allows them oftentimes to do some of the certification hours that they have online versus having to go in person and do that training. And that's a big issue. That's a big deal when it comes to recruitment and retainment of volunteer firefighters. Education, of course, is another big piece where a lot of families rely on that to keep their kids updated. If a kid misses school, at least they're able to use the connectivity in these areas to stay abreast of what's going on because they'll fall further and further behind if they're not able to do that. So those just a couple of the things that really excites me about broadband, especially in rural areas. And when it comes to this event, we're looking at a lot of fun stuff. We're gonna hopefully have some live music. We're gonna have obviously a lot of delicious food, and I think it's just gonna be fun, and hopefully a lot of the community members can come out, and that's a lot of opportunities in rural areas, especially where people get a chance to meet their neighbors that they don't necessarily have day-to-day contact with. So it's always good to have these kinds of events going on in rural communities.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for sharing. I think something on my end in particular of being able to see something that came up in driving connections when Andrew and I were out on the road in July was like really understanding that backbone of creating that pathway for fiber to come into so many rural towns in Maine and what this enables. And then it's all the way from backbone to possibility. Now that the backbone is there are the community connections, the celebrations that are happening, the economic mobility, the delivery of services. But then what is that possibility? Now we've gone from point A, which is that contract, that piece of paper that says this thing is going to happen. The earth has moved, things have gone in. I'm not going to say anything technical because, of course, that is not my area of expertise, but we know that this is a possibility and a next step, point B, and then point C and beyond. What does this potentially look like? I'm so excited. And then thinking about, again, from that piece of paper that says this investment is coming into the community, and now this investment is here, and how can the community have an opportunity to capitalize on this, whether it's coming to the event and hearing from some of the technical advisors, or as so many of you spoke about, what does this mean for folks there? I'm so excited to see what the possibilities are. With that, I want to give an opportunity if there's anything exciting about this project, or if you want to give any more hints for what's happening for the celebration on Thursday next week. If you want to say perhaps there are going to be you know, some dream bars, and perhaps there might be some lovely slider sandwiches, who
Yeah.
knows? But what else are you excited about? And then also to, this project in general, what does it mean to have the opportunity to serve 800 homes?
Yeah, I think it's huge to serve 800 homes, and this is a large project. This is a large area, and so we're excited for the community feedback. The network just opened. It hasn't been open very long. We've been processing orders and installations, and so we're really excited. This is an opportunity for the community to come out and talk to us about um what has your experience been getting fiber in your home? We've heard from other communities how it's changed their day-to-day lives. It's been impactful, but we'd like to hear, like, has it? And in what way? That's always really great to hear. And then any feedback, we're always open to just chatting about our services and what's working and what might not be working. And so we just love getting one on one with the community and an evening event where there could be some music There could be some great food. There could be a prize wheel. So there's going to be a lot of fun, and we just like talking to people who have our services. We'd like to talk to people about who are thinking about getting our services. What do you need? And we'll tell you if this is a good service for you. So yeah, I think that's what's really important is just being able to talk to all these folks. I don't anticipate 800 will show up, but hey, if they do, all the better. We'll
I
stay
will
late.
put in a second. I'll put in
Yeah.
a second food order. I promise. I promise. Awesome. Any other thoughts from folks?
Yeah, I think that, what's exciting about bringing fiber to the Belmont and Morrill communities, some of what Rob kind of highlighted already is, the ability to have that access to both a more reliable but higher quality connection to the internet, to the services that you collectively use through our internet, and ultimately something that we're going to be, continuing to layer into our services are things like such as phone. Having the ability to get your phone service through your internet provider, the ability to figure out streaming, to figure out other products and things that are associated with the internet, and to be able to provide that as a package, and that's all both accessible, but also that high quality connection because it's fiber. So, as Shanna mentioned, there's things that we're still getting out the door. We need, people to provide us feedback, thoughts, things that do work, things that don't work. I think that's one thing that I really value about our company, GWI, is I think we are responsive to the customer. I think we pride ourselves in the level of service we provide, but we also pride ourselves in how we respond to the feedback we receive. We don't expect to be perfect, but we do expect to get better at the things that we do provide.
Amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'd just build on that too. The exciting part about it is, Belmont Morrill being a rural area. I grew up in a rural area, still live in a rural area actually. The ability to have a company like GWI providing the quality fiber that they're providing is really fantastic, especially when I'm thinking about my current provider. It's not it's not fiber. It's not a small company that has local ties. So when you think about customer service, support, those kinds of things, it's great to be able to reach out to somebody that it's sort of, maybe your neighbor or maybe somebody who's familiar with your area, and you're not listening, you're not going through 10 different hoops to get to talk to an actual person. So I think that's really exciting for this project. And then as far as the celebration goes, yeah, it is. It sounds like it is going to be a really great time, and maybe one for the books when it comes to the Belmont area. We'll see.
Yes.
We love this. We love this. I know I'll be running around with my little mini mics like I always love to. Love to get some sound clips. Love to hear from folks. But as we wrap up, I just want to remind folks again that the Belmont Morrill celebration is happening on Thursday, August 27th from 4:30 to 7:30 at the Belmont Community Center, 613 Back Belmont Road. So excited to see you there. And thank you so much, GWI team, for just your time, your patience, the effort to put this together. I know I'm excited to bring my car full of stuff. I'm excited to spread out some food. I'm excited to meet the people. I'm excited to be there with y'all. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Kay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.